Well, cheers! How you do, buckaroos? Hey! Two beers live! Yeah, this is one of those videos where there is no point. I'm like the Jerry Seinfeld beer guys. There's no plot. There's no nothing. Anyway, yeah, the Jerry Seinfeld beer guys. It's about nothing, man. So if you and I met at a pub, we're gonna have two beers and have a discussion. That's what these videos are, man. I happen to have two beers left from Saddlebach, a brewery that I proudly worked for a couple years. Sadly, I had to leave there due to some personal reasons, but they were very good to me out there. Sad to hear that it has been placed for sale. But from what I understand, he's only trying to sell the brewery portion. Anyway, I've got a lot of the Ozarks. I want to start here. 4.2%. Low calorie, low carbs, fresh taste. Yes, 4.2%. 102 calories, about the same carb profile as a Mick Ultra. And another great selling point for this beer, I know when I was selling it anyway, it was, is that, I mean, it sells between, well, most stores have it between $6.50 and $6.99. And one store close to the airport, they had it for $7.99. But even at that, it's cheaper than Mick Ultra in all of those markets. So you can buy, you can get a nice, crisp, refreshing, all malt light beer. That's an actual craft beer and supports your local economy. So how about that? It's just a nice, easy drinking beer. Got a rather warm day here in the Ozarks. They said it was going to be 88. Feels like it may be a touch higher than that. I'm kind of fighting the battle with the flies today. I sprayed to kill them and they were gone before I started. It's like they know when I turn the camera on. As soon as I turn the camera, I've been sitting here for 10 minutes doing some writing. Not a fly inside. I turn the camera on, there's 100 of them. Little bastards. They are intentionally trying to sabotage me. A wise man once told me, just because you're paranoid doesn't mean somebody isn't trying to get you. Anyway, I digress. Back to the beer. If you can hear the radio, Beer Whisper Radio, I've got, just ending now, is the Whitford St. Holmes every morning. A great album that didn't get a lot of airplay at the time, sadly, but I think it's looked upon well in posterity, I suppose. Oh, here I got a classic from Boss Skaggs coming on now on Beer Whisper Radio. Breakdown didn't have. Should have went into FM radio voice, went into AM radio voice. Hey, now, classic from Boss Skaggs. Breakdown did it. That's the FM voice. The other voice, see the difference here? AM was loud and boisterous and in your face. Well, FM is, you just smoked a joint. Cold reaction, where you been? Ooh, baby. My favorite Boss Skaggs tune. I love this song. This is last call, you say that's all you can take. It's fine. I'm sorry, but some of the beers they give some descriptions, this one not. But yeah, I mean that's the purpose, right? So the owner Steve came up with this beer because if you've ever been to a tap room or talked to any breweries or tap room owners, they will tell you there's always that one guy. At least one guy a day, if not one guy an hour, that says, what do you got that's closest to X? Various macro. So what he did is he didn't want to do an adjunct lager just to appease them, but he wanted to see, they kept playing around with different recipes until they found an all malt craft light beer. 102 calories. So they said they tried to get it under 100, couldn't quite get there, but they liked the flavor, so they left it as is. 102 calories really ain't that much. But it is just a crisp, clean beer, man. And I can't tell you, when I was doing beer tastings as a beer rep for this company, I tell you what, I can't tell you how many times macro drinkers would pass me telling me they don't like craft beer. And then they'd come back holding their various macro light and said, just try this. Just try it. It's $6.99 a six pack in this store. Give it a shot. It's cheaper than what you carry in your hands. Try it. Oh, that's good. Now it's six packs. But I tell you what, I'm going to tell you, at least 80% of the time, I sold this beer if I could just get them to try it. That's the trick, right? When you do those tastings, you got to remember that sales is all about numbers. Not everybody's going to try everything. Not everybody's going to like everything. And sometimes stores will surprise you. Like I had one store that's mostly basically a macro light store, so I was expecting to sell a lot of this. And I did sell out of what I had on the shelf, but I also ended up selling 2 cases of, well, actually I sold 2.5 cases of our Arkansas Farmhouse, which is a 9.2%, 75 IBU beer that sells for about $10 a six pack. Actually sells for $13 a six pack at that store, and I didn't expect to sell it, and yet I sold it. So the trick is getting them to try it. You give them a try, just try it. And quite frankly, my experience is, well, maybe it's just my style, but the best way to get somebody to try something, especially after they told you no, they're not going to, is to not try to get them to try it again. I would try to strike up a conversation in some other way. I would talk about the beer they were getting by, or they're talk about the beer they were picking up, or look at something else. If they were going fishing, I would bring that up, or going hunting. Whatever the case may be, find something of a topic that they want to talk about, and then they would eventually try the beer. That's how you sell something, by not trying to sell it. People don't like to be sold. If they sense you're trying to sell them, they're gonna dig in. I know I do. If I feel somebody pushing harder, I dig in harder. I'm not gonna do it. But if you ease up the reins, let them sell themselves. You gotta get them to try the product. I knew my product was good, and I knew they were gonna like it. I knew if I could just get them to try it, they were gonna like it. So, and like I said, not everybody buys, but the better portion does. Ah, here we go. Anyway, I got one more beer for you. It's a 2-beer Sunday. I said it was a 2-beer Sunday, didn't I? I did say it was 2 beers. I digress. But I digress, man. I'm going to use my IPA glass for this one, because it is an IPA. Oh, I should have poured it ahead of time. I forgot this one gets a little full. I meant to pop it a little earlier, but I forgot. So I'm just going to talk for a minute. Biscuits. Sometimes, my wife and I on the Sundays want to hang out and watch some movies in the house. Every once in a while, I just want to come out here, have a couple beers, and crank the music. Or go out on a patio, grill something, and crank the music. Oh, whiskey, you're the devil. Oh. Oh. So what I've got here is the Saddleback IPA. This is deliciously balanced, hoppy, and flavorful. This one says low calorie, low carbs, incredible fresh taste. Yes, it is. 6.3%. Having worked at this brewery, I know they're lowballing it at 6.3. It typically runs closer to 7, but I don't want to get the brewery into trouble. But knowing the Arkansas liquor laws now, because I didn't when I first started there, to get into the convenience stores and grocery stores, it can't be more than 6.3. So they took a 7% beer, took it down to 6.3. Just know when you have the beer at the tap room, it's about 7. Okay. if you're following what I'm saying to you. If you're picking up what I'm putting down right there. Anyways, I digress. Oh. So here's what I did here, if you're wondering. Got a little foamy I'm going to put in my IPA glass, so let that sit there, let it settle. But I poured the last little bit here into this other glass, so I thought I'd finish that up here. Oh, this is it's a nice IPA. Yeah, it uses Citra, Anthem, Summit, I believe. It's a little more malty than a lot these days, but it's not old school malty, if that makes sense to you. Oh, I love this song. Yeah, there we go. It's a Red Rider. There's certainly a lot of citrus, right? You're going to find some orange, some grapefruit. That's typical per style. This one, it's certainly not a New England by any means, but it's probably closest to a West Coast without not. It's more of that Midwest Coast kind of thing. Here in Springfield, we got mothers as their little helper. It's kind of a Midwest Coast. But this one has more citrus. Doesn't have that pine thing going on. But yeah, you're definitely going to feel some stone fruit in the middle. Apricot more so than anything else. Orange, grapefruit. It's very clean. But yeah, I mean, the bitterness, it says 70 IBUs, but it's not, you know what I'm saying? It's not. It is a balanced IPA because there's a lot of malt going on. Gonna get out of line this time. So we've been up all day, had a drink on John, had a drink on the mine. Leave this ghost town. So I'm just kind of hanging out, having a couple beers. Had one earlier. The first beer on this glorious Sunday was this one. A friend had sent me. Let me show you the can there. Collaboration of Well Works and Casey Brewing. Canned by Well Works out of Greeley, Colorado. Trans Mountain Diversion New England Style Double IPA. It's wicked good. You know, the only mistake I think that the Colorado market made, again, this is just my opinion. It's part of it's my experience in sales and marketing. In sales, New England IPAs are trendy right now. So if you drop IPA or sour at the end of anything, it's going to sell. However, I think Colorado had an opportunity to do something different, kind of, improve on a theme, as it were. Instead of calling all those Colorado breweries, if they'd have all got together and said, we're not going to call our beers a New England IPA, we're going to call it a Colorado IPA. I think if they all would have done that, I mean, in unison, if every craft brewery in Colorado says, we're not going to call anything a New England, I think they would have really challenged the market. Because what Colorado is doing with the style is pretty fucking brilliant. And the problem is that you got Colorado doing a New England style IPA. And I think they had a real opportunity there that was missed. But that's just my particular opinion. Anyway, using my sales and marketing acumen. Cheers. So I got my IPA glass. I still got a nice amount of foam going on there, but it's an aromatically very nice beer. If you ever get a chance, I do recommend the tap room, especially being a craft beer geek that I am. Sometimes I like craft beer tap rooms. How do I say this the right way? Not necessarily better than I like their beer, but better than I like buying their beer and drinking it at home. There are some tap rooms. Sometimes you buy a beer and it's brilliant. You want to take it home, you want to drink it. But sometimes it's the atmosphere, right? And Saddleback is one of those atmosphere places. It's a destination brewery. A lot like reminds me a lot of Piney River. If you've ever been out there, it's a unique atmosphere. It's a little different. I mean, they're in Springdale, but they're still kind of out there a little bit. You kind of got to go on a farm road, and you got to want to be there. You're not going to find it staying on the main roads. And that's what's those are the kind of breweries that I personally like Piney River, Saddlebach, and there are others that you gotta want to be there. You gotta try. You gotta want it, man. So anyway, I digress. He's brought so much uncertainty to the state that people are afraid to invest in. So I figured by having the 4.2 and the 7%, I've kind of balanced out both to about a 5%. I digress, man. So I got up this morning, made some coffee. Our mother-in-law moved in with us back in May. We moved to a place back in May. About 3 weeks after we moved in, she moved in with us, and she's a coffee fiend, man. Now she'll say she's not. She'll say she's not addicted. She'll say she doesn't have caffeine addiction. She clearly does. Anyway. Because when I don't make coffee in the mornings, boy, shit gets real up in here. I tell you what, because of our situation, right? Our daughter will be 29 this year. Our son would have been 20 this year. He passed away to cancer 5 years ago. So my wife and I became empty nesters long before we wanted to be. So we've kind of gotten used to doing things a certain way, if you're following me. And, sometimes we'll get up at 7 o'clock and have breakfast, but sometimes I won't have breakfast on a Sunday till noon. Yeah. And I don't make coffee until I'm ready for breakfast. So, but she wants coffee by 7 o'clock every morning on the dot, and that ain't happening. I make coffee every morning for her, but I'm making it on my time. And I'm going to make it when I'm fixing breakfast because I want it with my breakfast. I'm not going to make it at 7 for her and later for me. Just not going to do it. But before she moved in with us, I mean, I didn't even have a coffee pot. We just had a French press, and I'd make coffee typically Friday, Saturday, Sunday, sometimes on a Monday, but typically just Saturday and Sunday. So we had to pick up when she was moving in with us. We bought an automatic drip maker so she could have coffee every morning. So I didn't want to use that French press, and that French press is 1 cup of coffee for her. I mean, she's got this cup that's like, So I've got this, I've got this glass mug I like to use, and I fill it 3 times. When my wife and I were using the French press, I'd fill it up 3 times with that glass mug. She'd have 1 cup out of hers, and do it, and that's enough coffee for us. But my mother-in-law, oh my God! So now I make 12 cups in an automatic drip, and there's like this much left. Now I might have my same 3 cups out of it, but they're small cups, and she'll fill hers up that many times. But I am drinking more coffee now because I have to make it every day. So now I'm drinking coffee on Saturday and Sunday, sometimes Friday, sometimes on Monday, to drinking coffee 7 days a week because I'm making it 7 days a week. But she got a little bit earlier today. I got it done by 10. But I'll be honest with you, most times on Sundays it's 11 noon. We'll have more of a brunch, man. I'll make breakfast. It'll be between 11 and noon, and that's when I make coffee. I just feel no need to change our lifestyle because she's here. So I think she's living with us. She might need to adjust some things. Anyway. But I know she's 92. She ain't adjusting shit. I'll tell you that right now. That woman ain't changing for nobody. It's a nice. I gotta tell you, even though I haven't had this for a while, and I thought I'd have one again. It is nice. It's just a nice, well-balanced IPA. You do feel a lot of orange. I feel a lot of orange tangerine-like notes, a little bit of grapefruit. There's certainly some floral notes involved. Finish is very clean. Again, some stone fruit in the middle. It's just done well. So there you go. I am. Who are you? Who cares? Who gives her man's ass? I am Don BeerVangelist, BeerVangelist, prolific beer drinker, Purveyor of Wisdom, man. Life is serious, beer shouldn't be. That's my new tagline. Life is serious, beer shouldn't be. An all-around good guy. Everybody have a good one.